The Black Squirrel Festival is back for a 41st year. See where it's happening and what events there are.
Students in Franklin Hall may have noticed a new exhibit in place on the 3rd floor. TV2's Khaled Mitchum has more on the special project.
Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein, the longest-serving female senator in history, has died at age 90. We have how the nation's capital honored her memory today.
In less than 24 hours, we'll know if Congress came to an agreement to extend government funding. Their decision will be the deciding factor if there will be a government shutdown.
And grab a hold of your mugs because it's National Coffee Day. All this and more on TV2 News.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, Portage County, and welcome to your Friday evening newscast. I'm Erin Sullivan.
And I'm Lex Radde.
And we start tonight's newscast with one of the biggest campus fests of the year.
Our own Michael Neenan is there and has all the details. Hi, Michael.
That's right, guys. The Black Squirrel Festival is happening here at Risman Plaza outside the Student Center. Now going on a 41st year, the festival honors the university's unofficial mascot, the Black Squirrel. Local residents, students, and their families are welcome to participate. Some activities at the event include live music, food trucks, henna tattooing, and a photo booth. Information tables about student organizations are available, and they are recruiting students. Special Black Squirrel t-shirts were also handed out, and it didn't last long. They ran out in a couple minutes. The festival goes from 4 to 7, and they will also be announcing the homecoming court. This is part of Parents Weekend, and it is a great way to get students and families involved. From TV2 News, I'm Michael Neenan.
Thanks, Michael. Kent State is celebrating 50 years with its study abroad program in Italy. The Florence Study Abroad program has been heavily supported by the Renaissance Scholar Society, and next week they're scheduled to celebrate in Florence. These donors have given nearly $4 million to support scholarships for education abroad. Kent State first made its mark in 1972 when it sent architecture students to Italy. And the 2023 Kent Safety Report was released this morning. The report contains statistics on crime, fire safety, and provides information to students about security on campus. There is also information on drug, Title IX policies, and resources for students seeking mental health. This year's report is available online at the Public Safety website.
The chief of the Kent State Fire Department has been cleared by investigators after being put on paid administrative leave mid-March. The investigation concluded no findings or wrongdoings by Myers. However, the city has not disclosed what prompted the investigation. Myers has not announced whether he's coming back or not. And Portage County has been selected to implement judicially led collaboratives about systematic changes in court cases involving child abuse and neglect. The National Council of Juvenile and Family Court Judges has 11 implementation sites in the entire country, Portage County now becoming one of them. These sites assess how child neglect and abuse cases are processed and develop instituting plans for court improvements.
Hello, all Portage County in Northeast Ohio. I'm TV2 weather anchor Odin Amador-Gorby with your Friday evening weather forecast. Hope you're enjoying a sunny Friday evening out there for sure. And as we look across, currently in Kent right now, it is 72 degrees, feels like 72. Dew point at 60, winds moving southwest at 3 miles per hour, so it's not really windy tonight. Humidity at 65%, visibility at 9 miles. If you've noticed, it's a little hot out there as we enter fall, which is kind of crazy to think about, but that's how it is in Ohio. Anyway, as we look towards your Northeast Ohio temperatures right now, we are dealing with the 70s. It feels like summer, even though it's fall. 72 in Kent, 70 in Ashtabula, 75 in Youngstown, 70 in Cleveland, 73 in Canton. Worcester, you're looking at 72. Mansfield at 70 degrees, and Sandusky at a whopping 70 degrees. So it's definitely a warm evening out there for sure, and it's going to be like this for quite a while. And as we look towards your hour-by-hour forecast, let's talk about it. We are going to continue to deal with partly cloudy skies for your 7 o'clock as temperatures will start to go lower down into 60. So we'll be dealing with 67 towards 7 p.m. And then 9 o'clock we'll deal with partly cloudy evening skies, a low of 63. And then towards 11 o'clock we'll deal with clear skies, a low of 60. That's all I have for now, folks. In my next update, I'll have your weekend weather forecast. Until then, back to you guys at the news desk.
Thanks, Odin. If you're looking to learn more about candidates running for office this November election, then look no further. The Kent League of Women Voters is hosting a face-to-face event that will allow voters to meet Portage County politicians. The event will focus on the Kent Board of Education election and countywide issues. The event is free and will be from 9 a.m. to 11:30 in the afternoon at Kent's United Methodist Church. Tune in on Monday at 6 for the whole story.
Ohio senators are considering making election law changes to close primaries. Ohio currently has an open primary, meaning that voters select whichever party's ballot they want. However, if this bill passes, voters would have to vote for the candidate that affiliates with their political party. One of the supporters of the bill, Senator Michelle Reynolds, spoke in support of the proposal, saying, quote, "Many other states have implemented similar party affiliation requirements and closed primary systems to safeguard integrity and promote genuine political discourse," end quote. Ohio Senators Kent Smith and Urkel Craig have introduced Senate Bill 146. If passed, this bill would increase the state's minimum wage by $1 for each year until it's up to $15. Ohio's minimum wage is currently $10.10 per hour for non-tipped employees, while tipped employees earn half the state's minimum wage. This bill would eliminate the tipped worker distinction and would increase their pay significantly.
Cities across Ohio are remembering missing loved ones. Today is Ohio Missing Persons Day. These events are aimed to allow families to remember those who are missing. In Columbus, a day-long candlelit vigil will be held at Chief James G. Jackson Police Academy. The Bureau of Criminal Investigation will also be attending to answer any questions family may have about their missing loved ones. In less than 24 hours, we'll know if Congress came to an agreement to extend government funding. Their decision will be the deciding factor if there will be a government shutdown.
And we have details on the most recent attacks in Pakistan coming up after this break.
Welcome back. Students in Franklin Hall may notice a new exhibit on the third floor.
TV's Khaled Mickham has more on this special project.
McElrath, a senior at Kent State, took on a massive task at the request of Associate Professor Dave Foster for a gallery at Franklin Hall.
How I got involved with it initially, I had saw Dave actually last semester walking down the hall, and he had like all these things in his hand. So I just kind of asked him if he needed help, and then he was like, "Yeah, but not with this." He was like, "Can you paint a picture for this gallery?" And I was like, "I'll bite, I'll dig it."
In our pre-class discussions, she mentioned she did paintings, and I had an extra canvas, and I think after seeing the work, I know that her father has some connections with that time, and so it just seemed like a natural fit and I was surprised when she said yes, and was even more surprised when I saw it.
Using Mr. Tolliver's photos as inspiration, Lauren decided to expand upon it and include a modern touch.
I thought it would be cool to like incorporate some of modern Black life on campus, because I feel like it's a huge dynamic time at this point too, with the new bills and stuff kind of being passed.
In addition to showcasing Black art on campus, student art was something that Dave Foster really aimed to include, both from the past and the present.
And really from 2014 on, it had been something that I've wanted to do, but I wanted to engage students with it. I didn't want it to be my exhibit, and I think that's so important that students engage with it and create something new out of something old.
Now, with the Tolliver Gallery up, Lauren's painting is on display for students, faculty, and visitors alike.
I hope I did it justice, because I know he put in so much work. I mean, honestly, the way how his art feels and stuff, it feels free. And so I tried to allow myself to have that freedom too. So that way, I don't know, I feel like vibes carry over in art, whatever the medium is. So it's just like, I try to allow myself to be free and stuff and just have fun with it. So I hope that transferred over. I hope that shows, and I hope that I captured his piece in an honorable way. And yeah.
Reporting for TV2, I'm Khalid Mitchum.
Into national news tonight, Senator Dianne Feinstein is being remembered. The California senator passed away Thursday evening in her Washington home. Senator Feinstein was a mayor of San Francisco for 10 years before taking office in 1992. Today, leaders in Washington are honoring her memory. Senator Chuck Schumer highlighting Feinstein's spirit for a cause greater than herself.
So today, we grieve. We look at that desk, and we know what we have lost. But we also give thanks. Thanks to someone so rarefied, so brave, so graceful a presence served in this chamber that someone like that served in this chamber for so many years.
Senator Feinstein was a legend. She was an iconic public servant, and she earned and held the trust of voters throughout California for many years. And that's because she cared, she understood the importance of the institution of representative government, and she worked tirelessly for the people of our state and for the people of the United States of America.
Now, still in D.C., there is less than 2 days till the deadline to extend federal funding, and the U.S. is bracing for a government shutdown. A House vote on a short-term funding measure failed, but Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy says, quote, "It's not the end yet." The House has now scheduled votes for tomorrow. However, it is not clear what the votes will be about. The United Auto Workers have expanded its strike against General Motors and Ford by adding 2 additional assembly plants. Workers at Ford Chicago and GM's Lansing Delta assembly plants walked off their jobs at noon. In Ohio, General Motors Parma Metal Center laid off 130 union workers in response to the expansion. The additional workers striking has brought the total number of striking workers to around 25,000 people.
A major break in the murder investigation of rapper Tupac Shakur. The rapper was killed in a 1996 drive-by shooting when he was just 25 years old. Now, decades later, law enforcement sources show a suspect has been arrested for the murder. Authorities arrested Duane Keith Davis, also known as Keith D, in Las Vegas on Friday. Davis is now in custody and is facing charges.
Ohio. Welcome back, everyone. Now we're going to look at your statewide temperatures all across Ohio today, and we are dealing with very hot temperatures. Look at Akron, 74 in Akron, 75 in Steubenville, Athens, you're at 70, 74 in our state capital, Columbus, 73 in Lima, 75 in Dayton. And look at Cincinnati, almost hitting 80 degrees, 78 degrees in Cincinnati. So it's definitely a hot one for sure for this time of year. And as we look towards your Saturday forecast for tomorrow, we're going to be dealing with mostly sunny skies, a high of 76, so it's definitely going to be a balmy day out there for sure. And it'll be sunny skies throughout the day with a few clouds from time to time. Winds will be northeast at 5 miles per hour, and sunset will be at 7:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as you notice, the sun's starting to go down earlier and earlier because we're heading into the fall season. And for your Sunday, we will be almost hitting 80 degrees with sunny skies, 78 right there. Mainly sunny sky all throughout the day. Winds will be light and variable at times. Winds moving northeast at 5 miles per hour. And sunset will be at 7:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it is definitely going to be a sunny week for sure. And as we look, and weekend, and as we look at your 7-day outlook, let's talk about it, folks. We will be dealing with sunny skies for your Saturday, a high of 76. And then Sunday, we will almost be hitting 80, a high of 78. And then Monday, we'll continue this pattern of sunny skies as the high pressure system dominates over our region. A high of 80 for Monday, and then Tuesday 81, sunny skies. Wednesday sunny, high of 81. But then we're going to start to see some clouds and a bit of a cool down for your Thursday, high of 77, and then towards your Friday we'll start to see rain showers finally coming in with a high of 68 degrees. So it'll start to feel a little bit more fall-like out there for sure. And that about wraps up my Friday evening weather forecast. Hope you enjoyed a nice weather ahead. Have a great and safe weekend, everyone. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Thanks, Odin. We're definitely looking forward to that sun.
We have Brian Muetzel joining us in the studio today with some information about national and international government funding.
Take it away, Brian.
Thank you, Alex and Erin. Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. I am Brian Muetzel, and today's headlines are Inside Politics. Ukraine's security services has confirmed that it was behind the successful attack on an electrical substation in Russia's Kursk region. The security service said that the substation was struck because it provided electricity to important Russian military facilities. The security services implied that if Russian strikes on Ukraine infrastructure continue, then Ukraine would respond in kind. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky met with the UK's new Defense Secretary Grant Shapps during a surprise visit to Ukraine. Zelensky's office said they had a meaningful meeting with the Secretary of Defense, Grant Shapps. The two discussed the issue of bolstering Ukraine's air defense, saying it's particularly important in the run-up to the winter season. The House passed a bill that would provide long-standing annual assistance in its funding to Ukraine. The bill passed on a bipartisan basis from 311 to 117. All the no votes were Republicans. None of the bills the House passed last night voted on would be to avert the government shutdown. The shutdown is expected to happen at midnight on October the 1st unless the House passes a bill and gets it to President Biden's desk tomorrow night. It seems both governments in Ukraine and here in the U.S. need help, but that's not stopping them from making progress. Reporting from the Franklin Hall studio, I'm Brian Muetzel, TV2 News.
And at least 52 people are dead and about 50 injured after an explosion at a religious procession in the Mustang district of southwestern Balochistan in Pakistan. Al-Munin confirmed that the explosion was a suicide attack and said that a senior police officer has been the target and was unfortunately killed during the explosion. Interior Minister Sarfraz Bugti condemned the attack, saying government is committed to a zero-tolerance policy against terrorists.
A second attack took place in Pakistan hours later. At least 2 people are dead and 11 injured in a second suicide attack in northwestern Pakistan. Local police say that the attack occurred at mosque during Friday prayers. One person detonated an explosive at the entrance while another detonated an explosive located inside the mosque. Police said 2 men on bicycles started shooting at policemen outside. Most worshippers fled during the shootings and the roof of the mosque has fallen in.
The price of your yearly dose of Thin Mints is going up. Yes, Girl Scout cookies have been impacted by inflation too. We'll have more on this disappointing news.
And when we come back after the break, we will take a look at how the women's soccer team did last night against EMU.
Report.
Welcome back. I'm Timmy Carlile here with your TV2 KSU Sports Report. The Flash's soccer team had the fans on the edge of their seats again last night as they pulled away in the 90th minute for a 2-1 win over Eastern Michigan. The win propels Kent State to 6-2-2 overall record, a 3-0 start in the MAC, good for their best start since 2017. Josie Morgan got things started for the Flashes, scoring in the 15th minute of the game. The Eagles added a tally in the 35th minute themselves. The Flashes were awarded a corner in the 90th minute where Abby Brightshoe headed the ball into the back of the net with just 48 seconds left. What a time to score her first goal in a Kent State uniform. The Flashes look to keep the momentum as they travel to Miami University for a match at 1 p.m. this Sunday. And now it's time for Tossing Around with Timmy, where we're going to check out all of what KSU sports are up to. At the top of the hour, the volleyball team got things started at the school down the road, and that's going on today. That's everything that we have going on today. As we look ahead to a busy weekend of Flash sports, on Saturday, we have the cross-country teams racing in the Live at the Lou Classic at Louisville. The men start at 9:30 and the women start their race after at 10:15 a.m. Next up, we have the field hockey team traveling to Ball State for a match, getting underway at noon. And finishing up the events on Saturday, the Kent State football team welcomes Miami University to Dick Stadium, looking to get their second win of the season. Kickoff is slated for 2:30 p.m. To end our weekend this Sunday, we've got a couple more events. The women's soccer team travels to Miami at 1 p.m., And men's golf travels to Notre Dame, competing in the Fighting Irish Classic. And now we're going to jump to Lambeau Field to look at Thursday night football. Little Wayne's going to lead the Packers out, 3-0 Packers, and Jared Goff is going to connect with Amon-Ra St. Brown, making it quickly 7-3 Detroit Lions, and there will be no looking back as Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to leap into the end zones, doing his own version of the Lambeau Leap, Lions Lambeau Leap. Then Jordan Love's going to take it right up the middle for a nice 9-yard touchdown as we jump ahead to the fourth quarter, making the score 27-17 Lions. They're fighting to keep this a close game, and on 4th and goal, David Montgomery is going to rush in for his 3rd touchdown of the day. And then, with a 3-possession game with about 4 minutes to go, the Packers are trying desperately to stay in the game when QB Jordan Love's pass is picked off by Jerry Jacobs. And that's going to pretty much end things. They're going to run out of time. Final score 34-20 as Jordan Love is sitting there on the bench. What a slam-packed weekend of Kent State sports. Best of luck, everyone. Once again, I've been Timmy Carlile, and that's all the time I've got for you today. Let's go Flashes.
Coming up after this break, a national holiday involving a nice fresh cup of Morning Joe. Girl Scout cookie prices across the country are increasing to cover rising costs due to inflation. Girl Scouts of the USA says prices vary due to what the local council set them as. Classic cookies such as Thin Mints will now cost up to $6 in some areas. Better start saving up now.
Well, some good news. Today is a sacred day for those buzzing on caffeine. It's National Coffee Day. According to legend, an Ethiopian goat herder first discovered coffee berries around 850 AD. Local monks learned to roast the coffee beans and steep them in hot water, and coffee was born. And there, the addictive hot drink spread throughout the Middle East, Europe, and the New World. Today, Brazil produces more coffee than any other country, closely followed by Colombia. The more you know.
So, Erin, do you know any really good coffee places around Kent?
I am the perfect person to ask, yes. Local coffee shops, though, I do like to try and support them more. Tree Cities in downtown Kent, so is Scribbles and Bent Tree Coffee. I definitely try and visit there more often, but I am victim to, going to Starbucks and Dunkin'. No hate, but we like our local businesses here. Then, fun fact, Bent Tree one year actually had a time where they did Girl Scout cookie inspired drinks. So I had the Samoa one where it was supposed to be coconutty.
Those are good.
I know. What's your favorite coffee?
I don't know. Today, to celebrate National Coffee Day, I had a nice pumpkin spice cold brew.
Ooh.
Definitely hit the spot.
Love
Got
that.
in the fall mood.
But yeah, so enjoy those coffees, enjoy those cookies, and thank you for joining us this evening.
For updates on all of these stories and more, visit our website at kentwire.com and follow us on social media on all platforms at KentWire. I'm Lex Rady.
And I'm Erin Sullivan. Have a great night, Portage County.
TV2, broadcasting from the campus of Kent State University, streaming online at KentWire.